I have a story to tell about tonight. I just got back from being front row at the barricade at the wrong concert. So, this was my second concert ever. Because my parents just never wanted me to go to Atlanta. But I went to the Tabernacle last year for that tour, actually. This Black Folk Brides tour right there. And that was at the Tabernacle. Tonight I was going to see Icon for Hire at the Masquerade. I didn't know the Masquerade had 2 rooms. So, first of all, give me 1 second. I was wearing this giant glow-in-the-dark Icon for Hire flannel I made myself. Okay, you see how big this is? And it glows in the dark. And I ended up in the room for Spider Gang, a band I had never even heard of. So let me start at the beginning. I got to the Masquerade. First of all, I was having a hard time finding the GPS because the GPS, I had to park somewhere else and then walk the rest of the way to the venue, like you do at most venues, I assume. And the GPS was taking me in a square, right? It kept telling me to go into a square and the Masquerade was in the middle. That's what it was doing. And I guess just because of the way I was dressed, another guy who was very obviously metal, because he was wearing a tank top that said support local metal, he ended up seeing me looking at my phone in confusion, I guess, and asked me if I was going to the Masquerade. I said, yeah, I've never been there before. And so he told me politely how to get there. Apparently I was right next to the steps, so that was really awesome. And he was really nice about it. And as he was walking away, I guess just out of curiosity, he was like, who are you going to see? And I said, Icon for Hire. He was like, awesome, okay. He ended up being a worker at the Masquerade. He saw me. I was front row at the barricade. He saw me. I know he had to have recognized me because I was the only one with bright blue hair. He didn't say anything. So that's one employee who I had already told that I was going to see Icon for Hire. So I got to the Masquerade and I got in the line. There were 2 different lines. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought there were 2 different doors. Because like I said, I'd never been. This is my second time to a concert. I have no idea how venues work. And especially weirder ones in Atlanta because we aren't like a huge city. We're lucky to have 2 venues. And so I ended up just going to the nearest line, thinking they were for the same room. I pull up my Icon for Hire ticket on my phone. Okay, the Icon for Hire picture is like this big on my phone. It says Icon for Hire. It scans as Icon for Hire. The guy at the door, so just scan his ticket, sends me on in, stamps my hand, says nothing. Okay, so this is a guy at a Spider Gang concert who just scanned an Icon for Hire ticket and let me in. It didn't say anything. Even though the Icon for Hire room was literally like 10 feet the other direction. So I get in there and I go straight to the merch table as always because I saw on Instagram they had said something about selling signed CDs and I really wanted one because I have one Icon for Hire CD and it was hard enough for me to find it because the acoustic CD. And I really, really wanted another Icon for Hire CD, let alone a signed one. And this is their second to last date, right? So they had tonight's show and then they have one more. So now the in-between tour that I went to was the very last date on that tour. And they were almost completely out of merch. So I figured they would probably be the same. They'd be almost out of merch. So I get to the merch table after waiting in line, like 20 minutes. And there's not a single piece of Icon for Hire merch. Not a single one. This should have been my red flag. It was not because I am stupid. And so I asked the guy working the merch table if they were out of Icon for Hire merch. He acts like he's never even heard of this band. He says, no, we don't have any. And I say, okay, whatever. So in the in-between tour, I went exclusively for Black Folk Brides because I am a huge Black Folk Brides fangirl. But I ended up loving the opening band, Dead, and the headlining band in this moment. They're 2 of my favorite bands now, too. So I said, whatever. They're selling a tapestry for this band, Spider Gang, that I've never heard of. And it has pretty cool artwork on it, and I was like, okay, I'll probably end up liking them because I just like most music. So I just went ahead and bought the tapestry, thinking that there was no Icon for Hire merch, thinking that because it was the second to last day, it was just sold out. Because I'm stupid. And okay, so then I work my way to the front. I have asthma, and concerts, you know, they're very close proximity to each other. Vaping is allowed in most venues, not like smoking, but vaping is, and vaping still bothers my asthma, not as bad as smoking. So I like to be as close to the barricade as possible, not because I want to be front row, even though, yeah, that's awesome, because I'd like to be in very clear eyesight of security and emergency people in case I have a sudden asthma attack and can't get to my inhaler for whatever reason. So I get to one side, all the people in that corner, for whatever reason, they're vaping. It looks like a campfire in the middle of the venue. So I go and I get to the other side, and just very easily, even though I've already been in this place for like 40 minutes at this point, I walk right up to the barricade, the very end of the barricade, right next to another security guy. Okay, so there's like the barricade right here, and then there's like a little itty bitty space, and then the security guy just standing there, you know, to make sure fans don't just walk to the stage. But, you know, still next to the barricade. And I talked to this guy about how I'm excited to watch Icon for Hire. This is the third or fourth person maybe, if you count the guy who gave me directions. The fourth employee at this Spider Gang concert who I say I'm excited to see Icon for Hire for. He says nothing. And I am still wearing this giant ass Icon for Hire shirt that glows in the dark. And not a single fucking person tells me I am at the wrong concert, okay? So I sit there and I hadn't really heard of any of the other bands that were opening for Icon for Hire other than Sumo Cyco. And I remember they added these last two dates kind of last second, I think. And there was some kind of asterisk or something that said that these two shows wouldn't have something, would have something else instead. So in my head, I was just like, okay, whatever this band is what that something else was. No, it was an entirely separate concert. And do you know who finally ended up telling me, okay, after I ended up at the barricade for a concert for Spider Gang, who actually ended up being a great band. I had a lot of fun. Got a lot of good videos. They were very good. But do you know who finally ended up telling me I was at the wrong show? I put a photo on Instagram of the merch table and was like, they're out of Icon for Hire merch. I'm so bummed. And, you know, like hashtagged it Icon for Hire and all this other shit like you do on social media. The girl from Sumo Cyco, the band opening for Icon for Hire, comments on my picture and says, "You're in the wrong room. We're playing across the hall." So not a single fucking employee at the masquerade tells me that I am in the wrong room. The lead singer of the band whose show I am seeing tells me I'm in the wrong room. So I go and I run across the hall after watching the entirety of Spider Gang's show. Because I didn't have my phone out, you know, on Instagram during the concert. You know, I was vibing, I was having fun. And I took it out while, you know, the lights went up and everything. And I noticed that she commented on my post. And I was like, oh shit. I bet I missed the entire fucking concert. I get over there in time to see the last 3 songs. But I still managed to get a signed CD. Somehow. So I don't know if I have really bad luck because I went to the wrong concert, or really good luck because I went to the wrong concert that the tickets were more expensive than the concert that I went to see, and ended up at the barricade, and still saw the ending of the show that I originally intended to see, and got a signed CD. So, do I have bad luck or do I have good luck? I've got no idea, but I will post the videos that I took. I took videos of the last 3 songs that I did see of Icon for Hires, and a few videos from Spider Gang. I'll upload those eventually. But needless to say, I was hoping to get this flannel that I had made signed by Sean and Ariel. Needless to say, that didn't happen. But I would be pissed. But the whole situation is just so funny. because it's my own dumbass fault, right? I recognize that. I'd never been to the masquerade before. I was by myself. I live over an hour from Atlanta. So I had no idea where the fuck I was. I was by myself. I was nervous as shit. And, you know, they didn't have hardly any signs. You know, they had signs, but they were like printer paper signs that were like, the words were like this big, like just on a post in front of each door. I saw them when I was leaving the masquerade. But I would be mad at myself if I hadn't talked to 4 different employees and other fans in the venue for Spider Gang that I was there for an Icon for Hire show, and not a single one of them told me. So I'm not mad, because the tickets for Icon for Hire were not that expensive. They were only like $18. Now, if this had been Music Midtown, where I spent $250 on a base ticket and then ended up seeing the wrong bands or at the wrong show, then I would be pissed, because that's $250. But it was only $18. And I still had a lot of fun. Spider Gang was still very, very good. I don't see myself listening to them like every single day continuously, but I will probably still listen to them casually. And I did still get the signed CD that I wanted. I didn't get my flannel signed, but I wasn't really expecting to anyway, because I couldn't afford VIP. And I was just kind of hoping maybe I'd see them before or after the show, and I didn't. But yeah, I still had fun, so the whole situation to me is just kind of funny, I guess. But, oh my gosh. How do you end up front row at the barricade for the wrong concert? That's something only I could do. So, yeah. Do I have really good luck or do I have really bad luck? I guess let me know what you think. I'm going to bed. It's almost midnight. Because like I said, I live over an hour away from Atlanta. I'm exhausted and thirsty because bottles of water were $5 a piece. I did not pay that. So I just died the whole time. But I've got to think of Powerade now and I'm going to bed. So I will upload concert videos tomorrow, maybe. But I still can't. The wrong